Morgan, I feel like I need to put a disclaimer on this. Yes, we are getting a little worked up over power rankings, or at least I am.
It's like, what?
Morgan, I thought we have reached the point now that the Kings have more respect around the league. Especially from a national perspective, based on what they did last year. They did win 48 games, right?
They did.
They were the number 3 seed in the Western Conference.
They were.
Well, I went over to ESPN's power rankings today because I'm like, all right, let's just see. The Kings offseason, they didn't make any monster splashes in free agency, but they bring back their same core. They add Sasha Vezenkov to the team, a EuroLeague MVP, take a flyer on Chris Duarte, add Nerlens Noel, see what he has left in the tank. I'm like, this is a good team. Internal growth, they should be getting some major respect from ESPN. But then I scroll down their power rankings. I keep going down, 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 and see they are ranked 12th by ESPN, 12th in the NBA. And guess what? 6 other teams in the Western Conference are ahead of them.
That's what gets me. That's the part that is strange when you look at what they accomplished last season. But can we go over to what they said about the Kings in their ranking, putting them in that 12th spot?
Sure. The blurb says the Kings free agency was spent building cap space to re-sign Harrison Barnes and extend Domantas Sabonis rather than make a flashy trade. They did get Chris Duarte, who is a good addition, but is enough for the Beam team to take the next big step forward. There's also no harm in running it back with the same team to see what this young group can do now that they have some experience and success.
That's it. People do not find running it back sexy enough, where I think in sports, and especially in the basketball world, you think about these teams that get to build that continuity, that get to build something growth together.
Yep.
And I truly feel like with what was established last year with the Sacramento Kings, with their culture and Mike Brown and their system, that they can and they will grow. And I'm glad that they're banking on growth.
Well, let's talk about the Kings and who's ahead of them in the ESPN NBA Power Rankings. Denver's number 1.
Fair.
We'll go to the next West team in the Power Rankings.
Okay.
Number 4, the Phoenix Suns. Number 7, the LA Lakers. Number 8, the Golden State Warriors. And just ahead of Sacramento, number 10, Memphis. And number 11, the Clippers. Out of those teams, any of them jump out to you where you go, I don't know if they should be ahead of the Kings?
Ooh, okay. The one team that I go, I don't know if they should be ahead of the Kings, would be the Grizzlies.
Yes.
And I think
you don't have to even say it like that. They should not be ahead of the Kings.
Yeah.
John Morant is missing 25 games to start the season. They've changed their team. They're adding Marcus Smart. Tyus Jones is gone. Dylan Brooks is gone.
Right.
That's a lot of change for a team. And missing your guy to start the season, I don't know how you have him ranked that high.
Yeah. I'm not even, and let's not even say that high. Let's just say
ahead of the Kings.
Ahead of the Kings.
Excuse me.
Right?
Yes.
Thank you. And now, if you look at some of these other teams too, ahead of the Kings.
The Clippers. You think the Clippers should be ahead of the Kings?
On paper, they should. In how many years, how many seasons are we going to say that? On paper, they look like a championship squad.
How many years in a row have we said, hey, man, look, if Kawhi Leonard and Paul George stay healthy, who's better than them in the West? Okay, I hear that, but I'm done declaring the Clippers the paper champs every single year.
Paper champs.
You got to prove it.
Yeah.
You got to prove it.
Yeah.
And I don't think they are ahead of the Kings right now. There's still kind of questions about them and if they're going to make a trade too.
But and here's the sexy part. Kawhi Leonard,
I get it.
Paul George. I mean, when healthy. Oh, and that's what you have to put. When healthy, they are just the most special players in the world. Absolutely. Two-way guys.
Yeah.
They get it done on both ends of the floor when healthy. But guess what? You got to be healthy to play the damn game.
That's what's surprising to me is those two specifically ahead of the Sacramento Kings.
Same.
The next teams ahead, Golden State, number 8. Now, Golden State beat the Kings in the first round in 7 games. Talk about dramatic changeover.
Yeah.
Jordan Poole out, Bob Myers out, Chris Paul in. I'm not sure that they're ahead of the Kings. I think I'm not as high on the Chris Paul move as maybe others because I just don't know how it's all going to work out. But I think you go, well, look, this team's done it. It's Steph. it's Draymond, it's Clay. They're going to be a good team in the West. If they're ahead of the Kings in power rankings, okay, fine.
You know what? I'll agree with that because you're banking on track record with this and you're banking on Steph Curry. And why would you count Steph Curry out? I mean, he had 50 points in a game 7.
Well, I don't know why you had to bring that up.
Sacramento
I don't know why you had to bring
Kings.
that up. I think if you're building a case for them, you go, well, look, dude, the chemistry last year was bad. You had Draymond punch Jordan Poole. That was weird the whole year. Wiggins was missing a huge chunk of the season. In fact, his first game back was in the NBA playoffs against the Kings.
Yeah.
So, and they won like no road games. Is that gonna happen this year? Okay, maybe you're betting on the fact that, hey, better vibes, old guys together, they're all just gotta come in, focus, let's just win, and maybe they could just be better. Okay, fine.
Yep.
I'm not entirely sure that they're more talented than the Kings.
It's July, though. We'll go with it.
Fine. So we're both on board with that.
Yeah, why not?
What about the Lakers, number 7?
The Lakers, I agree with being ahead of the Kings. I think they had a solid offseason with just like the little tweaks that they made. They re-signed guys like Rui and Austin Reeves.
D'Angelo Russell's back too. I know he wasn't great, but they add Gabe Vincent.
That's what I'm excited for.
Torian Prince on a nice deal too.
I know.
Jackson Hayes.
Cam Reddish as well.
Okay.
I mean,
We had to mention Cam Reddish.
Injuries.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
What? But even that we just discussed adds depth. In last season, you look how many times that Anthony Davis was hurt. Like that's his MO with.
Look how they started the season
league.
with Westbrook on the team, and they weren't winning games. And somehow, with all that you just mentioned with AD being out too, they still made it to the conference finals.
Yep.
So, they're a major if team because it's similar with Kawhi and Paul George, maybe not to the same extent, but I'm like, all right, well, is LeBron, who's
not
like,
to the same extent, dude. Like,
I know,
come
but
on.
LeBron is breaking news, like all of us, getting older, and he's missing more games. AD's always, go ahead and knock it down. He's going to miss 15 to 20 games. I guess the question is, will they be ready to go when it counts? Sure. If you wanna,
it's July.
I just... Maybe I'm the biggest Kings homer. Please let me know in the comments.
Yeah,
whether
I'll
even
let you
if
know.
you're not a Kings fan, let me know. I just think the Kings have one of the deepest teams in the NBA. I think they have.
You're being a little homerish right
they
now.
have the most explosive offense, only added to this offseason with Sasha in the fold.
Cool. I didn't know we were only supposed to play offense in this game.
Denver has a 15th defensive rating in the NBA and won the
Middle of the
championship.
squad, middle of the league.
It's fine. Kings in the second year. You mentioned continuity. I feel like the Kings, the continuity, you bringing back the same guys, add a couple of minor tweaks. I think Fox is a stud. Sabonis had a monster year. Keegan year 2 on the rise.
Deuce.
I just think the Kings are being overlooked a little bit.
I'm
That's
not
I'm
doing
being
this
serious.
whole thing in July like I did last year where I'm like, I don't even think the Kings are going to make the playoffs. And then I end up getting a freaking tattoo at the end of the year. Like, we're not going to do that. But I am going to bring you back down to reality a little bit.
I do have a hot
There's
take.
other teams.
I have a hot take.
There are other teams, and I said this last year, God damn it,
Yeah.
that do also get better in this league, that run it back a little bit and find that continuity and find that chemistry and add some more depth and stay a little bit healthier as well. But yes, I am very high on the Kings in what they're about to do this season.
The other team that's ahead of the Kings, the Phoenix Suns, ranked
my God.
4th, and then Denver number 1. Here's my hot take.
Yeah, hot take it.
I think you can make a very serious case that the Kings are the second best team in the West going into the season. And I get it.
I can't even say that you're wrong right now because but we're just going off of freshness of what happened last season.
But I'm
right?
looking at the rest of the West too, Morgan. And like Phoenix, I understand the appeal of on paper going, hey man, KD,
Love on
Booker, and
paper.
Beal, and Ayton. Vogel in the fold. Maybe Ayton's more engaged because he's not butting heads with Monty Williams. Full year with KD and Booker, Beal. They've got a whole bunch of minimum guys. Okay. Is KD staying healthy? Is Beal staying healthy? And I know you could say the if healthy card with every team in the NBA, but I'm also going, no.
Yeah.
These guys are guys who have missed a lot of games over the years. It's not like I'm just saying, hey, what if they get hurt?
It's
Obviously,
part of their reputation, their game. Yes.
So the West to me is so open. Denver is clearly, in my opinion, the best team in the West. There's no disputing it. They lose Bruce Brown, and I get that, but they
Huge.
bring back their 4 key guys. They'll figure everything else around it. Jokic is the best player probably in the NBA.
Yep.
I just look at the rest of the West and go, Phoenix question marks, Lakers question marks, Warriors questions, Memphis, Clippers. Those 5 teams that are ranked ahead of the Kings have major question marks. The Kings question mark is, do they play enough defense? Well, they score 140 points a night. Okay?
Deuce.
Okay.
Stop it. You can't be like all in on like, oh yeah, let's just score 200
That's
points
fine.
tonight and not have to play any defense.
Sometimes there's one person who has to speak up while the others are like, oh, you got to wait to prove it. I'm just sitting here
That's
today,
not what it
and I'm
is.
more confident in the Kings being ahead of those teams than maybe others.
No, you 1,000,000,000% sound like a homer, and you do because you're also close to the situation. Like, no, truly, like I think it was hilarious last year when people weren't seeing the importance of keeping the squad together last year at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
It started to sway me. That narrative started to sway me, and I was like, yeah, everyone in the West just got better, but what are the Kings going to do? The Kings got better with keeping their pieces together because they understand the fundamentals of basketball and really how to grow together. Now, I truly believe that there are going to be individuals on this Kings roster that are taking their leaps that is just going to be making this team play better on both ends of the floor. I must say, though, I don't know because I'm not around these other teams how much better they're getting. I don't need
All
to
right,
watch
fine.
training videos. It's not about that. It's just truly like what is the talk around some of these teams. I'm not covering these other teams, so I don't know in July right now.
Typical Morgan. She's got
here we
splinters
go.
in her ass from sitting on the
Splinters.
fence. Let me ask you this,
I
then,
wear
Morgan.
pants.
Just based on these teams ahead of them,
Yeah.
who should the Kings be ahead of? Will you say they should be ahead of the Clippers in the power rankings? Ahead of the Clippers in the power
It
rankings,
sounds
yes or no?
so homerish, but I'm just gonna say yes.
doesn't.
I'm gonna say no. The reason why, because so many people will be like, "How can you count out Kawhi Leonard or Paul George?" And it's like you can count them out because they haven't been healthy.
Okay.
So yes,
The Memphis Grizzlies.
100% yes.
Okay. So right now, you've already put the Kings 10th. And we haven't talked
Sure.
about the Eastern teams. We're ignoring them.
Yeah.
Okay. Golden State.
Put Golden State ahead of
Okay.
the Kings.
The Lakers.
Keep them ahead.
The Phoenix Suns.
If they just keep them ahead.
Okay.
Keep them ahead. I'm trusting where they're going,
That's
the
fine.
direction that they're going,
Everybody-
even if they're gonna have their issues.
It's fine. Keep sleeping on the Kings. They're going to be fun this year, and I can't wait to see what it looks like.
Stop. No one's sleeping.
Oh,
I mean, putting them in 12th, it just, again, not awful, just like
Yeah.
tweaks.
Is Cleveland clearly better than the Kings?
Well,
Philly, Philly's
I
ranked
think
6.
Cleveland's totally fair putting
Philly.
ahead.
What happens if they just have to trade James Harden?
Philly, that
Okay.
whole thing is hilarious.
Miami, I guess if they get Dame.
Yes, no, it doesn't matter if they get Dame. You have to a little bit respect them off of what they did last year. That's what you want everyone to do with the Kings. You want everyone to respect the Kings off of
I'm
what they did
kidding.
last year, and you're not respecting enough of these teams off of what they did last year.
We appreciate you guys watching the video. Give us your top 12 NBA
Yes.
power rankings in the comments. Make sure to hit the thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe. We appreciate you guys so much. Tell me why the Kings are so low. I don't get it at all. You want me to go with that?
No,
Why?
wasn't your best.
Oh, okay. Can you do better or no? Or are you just gonna?
Tell me why are the Kings so damn low? Tell me why are they going to be 12th? Tell me why. I want them to be higher ranked. I want them at 8th.
Okay, cool. So you do one thing better than me.